students of grade 6. I hope you all are fine and safe and not failing to listen to your parents. I know you must be missing your school, and so are we. But today, let's get excited because we are going to learn a very interesting topic called an acrostic poem. In this chapter, you will learn how to write and create your own acrostic poem. You will also be able to appreciate your own surroundings and the places that you live in. And lastly, you will create skills in your writing skill and in your imagination. So let's get started. Now, before we start, I want you to understand the privilege of having a home. I'm sure that every one of you are having a place to stay, a roof over our head. But there are many students, there are many children across the globe who does not have a home to stay. I'm pretty much sure that many of you understand the privilege of having a home. But there are millions of people who are unfortunate and they struggle to meet the basic needs. Well, today, I want you to write down in a piece of paper 5 words or phrases that you think or that comes into your mind when you think of the word home. And by now, many things might be popping out in your head. Maybe you must have thought about your parents, your family members, your toys, and so many stuff. So, this acrostic poem is a type of poetry where the first letter of each line spell a particular word or phrases. But keeping one thing in mind, the acrostic poem don't need to have any rhyming scheme or any specific meter. For example, in your textbook, in text 1A, an example of an acrostic poem has been given. You see here, H-O-M-E, home. So when you think of the word H, it says here heaven, H-A-V-E-N, heaven. O, O-P-E-N, open. M, M-A-K-E-S, makes. E, E-V-E-N, even. So we see that these words start with this particular letter here, H-O-M-E, home. And then we continue, or we write the poem using your own words. But the poet here has written down this beautiful poem, Heaven from the Noisy World. Open door to my sanctuary. Makes me feel safe and snug, even when I am sad. Now here we see that these lines that a poet has written is related with the word home. Here the poet has used a figurative language. Now this figurative language is an imaginative comparison. So when we see here, there are 2 things that a poet has compared. His home or her home with heaven and sanctuary. Now heaven is a place where boats are kept, and sanctuary is a safe place of a religious building. So we see that the figurative language used here is metaphor. So we know that the word home or home has been compared to, or it has been compared to heaven and sanctuary without using the word similes. So this is an acrostic poem, and now I will give you a step-by-step instruction or a process on how to write an acrostic poem. So before you write an acrostic poem, just keep the 6 simple steps in your mind. The first thing that you need to do is decide on the topic that you would like to write. For example, it can be, here it is home. You can think of book, B-O-O-K, book, or winter, or summer, or student, father, mother, anything. Decide on the particular topic that you would like to write. The second thing is that make sure that you write vertically, that is from the top to bottom. So example, H-O-M-E, home, you can write S-U-M-M-E-R, summer, from top to bottom. The third point you need to remember is make sure that the words are being capitalized. So you are not going to write in small letter, but in capital letter. Now the fourth thing that you have to do is brainstorm all the things or all the words that starts with the first letter. You need to think of phrases or sentence or word that comes in your mind. Then the fifth point is that you need to write the first letter word. For example, if you have decided on summer, S-U-M-M-E-R, summer. So S for shiny, U for umbrella, M for Mary. So in that way, you try to write down the first word. And lastly, you can create or you can add lines in the verse in your own thinking or what your idea is all about. But keeping one thing in mind, make sure that whatever you write here or whatever phrases that you make, it has to correlate or it has to relate with the word that you have decided in the beginning. So that's all for today. I want you to go home, or so sorry sir. I'll continue. Okay, now what I want you to do is, since you are at home, I need to give you an exercise, and that is, think of 2 or 3 words that comes in your mind and try to create your own acrostic poem and follow the order that I have given to you. That's all. Thank you and have a good day.